Hello everyone, today we're going to be discussing the best measures to take when purchasing a new vehicle. In an ideal world, you would want to be able to purchase this vehicle with cash. You'd also want to stay away from buying newer cars and instead buy a used car. As many of you may have heard in the past, yes, a car loses its value the minute you drive it off of the parking lot. This is very true. It's shown that within the first month of owning a brand new car, that's when it depreciates the most. So if you do have the ability to purchase a car with cash, this is what I recommend you do. Shop online or at your local dealership to see what kind of used cars they have available. From there, you go to Edmunds.com and look up the VIN number for that said vehicle. This will allow you to see the history of your car, whether there's been any accidents, whether it's been used for a rental, whatever case that you might not know. Another great source that I've also seen where you can find pretty good used cars are, and trust me on this one, but Craigslist. Now, a lot of people try to justify the reason why they don't buy used cars. And the majority has to do with they don't know a lot about cars and they don't want to buy a beater. Most people are afraid that they're going to end up buying a bad car and have to worry about all the mechanical repairs that are going to have to be put into it when they could have just saved money and just gone with the less headache and gotten a brand new car. However, this is a method that I found very effective in mitigating this. So let's say you find a car on Craigslist that you really like. You get the VIN number and then you look it up on Edmunds.com and find out that it has a good history. Just find someone you know who is very familiar and well knowledge with cars. Or go to your local mechanic shop and offer to pay one of the mechanics to go and look at the car with you. You can then go view the car and have an expert right there with you to let you know if you're getting your money's worth. This is in the very ideal situation where you can fully afford to pay for your car cash. We all know that's not how the real world works. Realistically, what's going to happen is you're going to need to get a car loan. So when looking to finance a car, this is the rule I want you to follow. This rule is known as the 20-30-8 rule. So 20, you will put 20% down on the car payment. You will not finance the car for more than 3 years or 36 months. And 8, your car payment should not exceed more than 8% of your gross income monthly. If you want to be a little bit more conservative, that 8% could be your net income per month. Now this 20-30-8 rule only applies to normal cars. I'm talking about your Honda, your Fords, your Chevys, cars of that nature. If you're looking to finance a luxury vehicle, you should be aiming to pay that car off within the first year. Cars in this range have already depreciated the greatest amount they're ever going to depreciate, but still hold a lot of value and might not have as much mileage on them as some older cars. You're going to be very tempted to buy a new car, but however, don't let society fool you. Society is going to try and convince you that your car is for a flex vehicle, when in reality, all it is a threat to your financial wealth. The highest paid individual at my job probably owns the oldest truck out of everyone within my organization. What you don't want to do is find yourself in a position where you're underwater the minute you purchase a vehicle. There's no reason to be getting a vehicle under a 72-month loan term. And a very fun fact, in recent years, car dealerships have actually been making more money off of their financing than they have from selling cars themselves. Some of the dangers that come with having a car for that long of a car loan term is if you were to get in a wreck. What you don't want is for the car insurance company to write you a check for the value of the car that's actually worth less than what you currently still owe on your car payment. There's also a very great feeling that comes with actually owning your vehicle. Now, yes, there are a lot of drivers on the road, but there are not really a lot of car owners on the road. And what I mean by that is this. So if you have a car payment, one that's particularly high, let's say you accidentally missed a payment or are unable to afford it. The repo man is going to come and show you whose car it really belongs to. When it comes to financing, I recommend 3 types of financing you should look for. One is through the dealership, the second one is through a local bank, and the third will be from a big bank. You're going to want to do this because competition drives pricing. So if you can go to the dealership with already pre-approved rate, you can get them to drop their interest rate. And then you go and call one of the banks that you got a pre-approval from, tell them what the dealership is offering you, and they'll be more likely to reduce their interest rate as well. So you get 3 pre-approvals, you sit back and watch the banks battle it out for your service. Now, when it comes to car payments, especially in this market, a very competitive rate would be anything under 3%. Now, another finance option that seems very appealing to a lot of car junkies is called leasing. Leasing is typically when you're driving a new model car for a certain period of time and then you trade it in for another model later on. Now, this seems very attractive because you're always in a new car, but there's a lot of disadvantages that come with leasing. Leasing will typically cost you more than any equivalent loan because you are paying payments on this vehicle at the period of time when the vehicle is most rapidly depreciating. And if you're continuously leasing from one car to the next, your monthly payments just go on forever and never and never. In the long term, the best method is to have a car, pay it off, and continue to own and operate that vehicle until it becomes uneconomical to actually repair it. Lease contracts also specify a limited number of mileage that you can put on the vehicle. If you exceed this amount of mileage on that vehicle, you'll be forced to pay for the excess mileage that you went over. You also have to maintain the vehicle in good condition because you could be charged for the wear and tear that you caused. So as you can see, leasing a vehicle is not really the most ideal situation for someone who's trying to take over their financial future. Just to recap this video, let's go over some of the key components that we discussed. The first was a 20-38 rule. You put down at least 20%, your loan term does not exceed 3 years, and your monthly payments does not exceed more than 8% of your gross income. If you're buying a luxury vehicle, you should be able to pay that vehicle off within 1 year. And you should always stay away from trying to lease. Hope you guys found this video useful. If you haven't already, make sure to like, subscribe, leave a comment, and share. And I'll see you guys next week.